Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube in the various groups from around the world subsequently. I think today is day 20? 21. 20. Yeah, today is day 20 in our celebration of the month of the Ramanujans, notably our Adi Guru, Lord Sri Ramanuj, whose birthday kickstarted this month of the Ramanujans on the 5th of May, and Guruji's birthday is going to culminate on the 27th of May. And in this marathon Satsang, we had many people from many groups, from many religions, from different social status attending and bringing about peace and harmony in the community. And I think because we have no visitors today, and as I said from the 22nd, this week becomes more personal with the ashram because this week is dedicated as Samadhi week of Guruji, Swamiji Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. So, I first heard of Guruji in 2008, March 2008, when our clothing factory as a business had collapsed. So we were selling the sewing machines, and another factory owner heard that we were selling sewing machines, and he contacted us, and I went and met him in his factory. And I saw Guruji's photographs everywhere in his factory. And I came home and I remarked to Mataji that this guy was a Banya, and I said, this Banya, I said Banyas, when the fathers die, they display the photographs everywhere. And Mataji said, no, it might be a Swami. So the next day, I confronted him and I asked him who the photograph was. And he said, no, it is of Guruji. And he gave me a miniature photograph of Guruji from his wallet. And he said that if I come to 8 consecutive satsangs, then whatever I ask Guruji, it would come true. So at this point in time, I was one of the directors in a law firm in Smith Street, and I had borrowed Sean's Golf. Sean had a red Golf, but its paintwork was faded. And I was handling the legal investigation section of this law firm, so it was my duty to go and investigate with the client and take statements and analyze the scene, view the scene. And because I had no transport, I was using Sean's faded Golf. So when this gentleman asked me to make a wish, my first wish was that I get an acceptable vehicle, because I was dressed in suit and tie. I had 20 suits. But it was looking out of place, wearing suit and tie and jumping out of Sean's Golf. Then, on my very first satsang in Westville, this satsang was in the shrine. Myself, Mataji, Sean and Shawan, we went to our first satsang. There was a huge tree growing out of the shrine, and I looked in front of me. I saw the convener seated there, his dad seated there, and I saw a guru from India also seated in the front. And as I looked at this guru from India, he would stare at me piercingly, and I felt that he was penetrating my very soul. So at this satsang they used to have a havan, and I remember wearing my suede jacket on that day. So when we went to sit and do havan, I found myself next to this guru from India, and I didn't want my suede jacket to touch him, so I gathered my jacket over my lap. The next week, that was on a Thursday, the satsangs at this venue was on Thursday. On Friday, one of the clients came to the office and he said, "Mr. Singh, I have an option to save my house or save my car. I want to save my house, but I want to give you my car. This car is only a few months old, and I want you to take over the installments. You do not have to pay me anything now. You can start paying at the end of the month." And before I understood what was happening, Mataji drove the Golf and me to the car, and then I think she drove the new car and I drove the Golf back home. Thursday, I think this happened on Friday. Met Guruji on Thursday night, this happened on Friday, and we went to the convener, and I thought this was a daily miracle that happened there at that venue, so we went to thank the convener, and he was more shocked than myself that just in a day my wish could come true. But then we belonged to another organization. We belonged to the Sai organization for many years, and we felt guilty the following week that we abandoned that organization. So I took the new car and on that Thursday, instead of going to Westville, I went to Grasmere Road. Then when I sat there at Grasmere Road, I felt guilty because I got this car from Westville. So the following week, we went back to Westville, but now I'm looking for that man from India, and people said there was never a man from India here. And I looked around nicely, and I saw Guruji in the photographs, and it was Guruji that was seated there on my very first attendance at the ashram. At this point in time, I had no understanding of the guru-disciple relationship. I liked Sai Baba because he had those 8 instructions, and in the 8 instructions I did not see no smoking, no eating meat, and no drinking. Because those 3 things were not there, I had taken to that teaching. Alright, so he had 8 codes of conduct, but he never spoke, Satish Bhai, for drinking, eating meat, and that went very well with the Guru. Alright? So I had no further knowledge than whatever happened there, but I did see, and Mataji and my children, we experienced a lot of miracles personally at the Grasmere Road ashram. So then when I came back to Guruji, and that day when I took that car and I showed the convener, he gave us a small photograph of Guruji, postcard size photograph with the frame. And it was that photograph that started changing our lives from 2008 until 2013. In 2013, I think Shravan bought his car. So the very first thing he did was took his car to Reservoir, and the convener again asked Shravan to tell the other devotees how he got the car. Alright? And Shravan had started work as well in 2013. So when we made this trip to India, he could not come because I think he was 1 or 2 months he had started work. So he had to stay in Durban, and we went to the ashram. So we landed in the ashram one day before Guru Purnima. Ashram was full of devotees. Every room, I think 10, 12, 15 people were staying. And Sean's job was to kill mosquitoes the whole night. So he'd put the aircon on. Myself, Mataji, Sean, and Mrs. Kedden was in one room, that corner room. And there was an old aircon, noisy aircon. So we used to put the aircon on, and Sean used to kill mosquitoes. And I think we were the only devotees, foreign devotees, to stay there for 21 days. We had some other arrangement, 6 days, 6 days, 6 days, and 3 days in Mumbai. But we finished. Guruji kept us there for 21 days. And we came straight back home. So this is how I met my Guru. This is how my Guru changed my life. I saw him on my first day at that Satsang. I still see that form continuously, and it is that form that instructs me on what to do. There were 2 branches in Durban, and both these branches used to extol Guruji as if he was a magician, and this is why I committed myself not to overrate Guruji in a sense that people must have no knowledge. So I decided to go the knowledge side, and it is only in times like this that I bring my Guru in the forefront. I think this day was necessary and that is why we have no visitors today. So we learnt firsthand about Guruji from his foremost disciple, on how he used to take Guruji from village to village, how Guruji would ask him to get 100 villages and then Guruji would give a discourse. And then we also heard stories that there was a time at the ashram when Guruji had to ask his family to leave, and not his immediate family, but extended family members that had lived in the ashram. And at that point in time, the ashram was in the middle of a forest. And when Guruji could not stand the nonsense of that extended family anymore, at 11 p.m. he asked them to leave, and they came back to Guruji and said, Guruji, it's 11 p.m., it's night, let us leave at 6 in the morning. And Guruji was adamant that they must leave at 11. And then there were two people that were living in the ashram who were refusing to leave the ashram, and they had taken over the ashram in a sense that they were not respecting any of the mandate or directives of the ashram. So this disciple, I explained the other day, very, very cheeky, I think 84 years old. So what he had decided, he will bring 2 cobras and let them loose in these 2 rooms. But throughout his life, everything that he wanted to do, Guruji read his mind and stopped him. So when he wanted to bring the 2 cobras, Guruji stopped him. But then Guruji was acquainted all these gangsters from Delhi. Although they were gangsters in their lives, but when it came to Guruji, they loved Guruji. So Guruji spiritually activated these gangsters, and they came to the ashram and gave these people a terrible hiding and had them removed from the ashram. So why am I telling you this? A disciple, to live within spiritual parameters, will follow his guru. So throughout my life as a guru, I have asked a few people to leave, as Guruji asked his family to leave, because I am within my spiritual jurisdiction, because I am following my Guru's footsteps. And then now and again I threaten some people that they will catch a terrible hiding. So I'm also acquainted with a whole lot of gangsters and military men and paramilitary people. I live in South Africa, and we can make a few phone calls, and like those people in the ashram, we can make people catch a terrible hiding if needs be. So again, I will be within my parameters because I am following in the footsteps of my Guru. So we have a disciple of mine whom I would like to say a few words. But before I do that, I just want to quickly bring into perspective something that transpired last week. So last week, a couple and a child came and saw Mataji and spent a whole lot of time, and Mataji does what she naturally does. Anyone that comes to ashram, she will discuss what the ashram does, the aims and objectives of the ashram. And this couple and this child, they came to one satsang, and then they came and saw me. And they asked me if I open book. And I said, I don't open a physical astrology book, but I can open the real book. Please do not ask me to open that book. So they went and they came back and they said, please Guru, we have a few things that's happening in our lives and we want to know how it will pan out. So I opened a book called The Soul. I opened a husband's book, he wasn't too happy. I opened a wife's book, wasn't too happy. But for those of you that know me, I have to tell you as it is. And then I saw that they were embroiled in a legal matter of which I have no control. And I have a disciple in this ashram who is an attorney and who is working within the parameters of truth. And every now and again I refer people that come to me for legal assistance to her. And just today she informed me that one of our devotees, Maxine, she won a case. So this is what we do. And this husband and wife couple is involved in a fraud case where quite a few millions are involved. So I do not judge anyone that walks in the ashram. I cannot judge, even if I wanted to, because I am a guru and my job is to accept everyone on a clean slate until they show themselves. Because many people have also walked in here, and because I didn't judge them, they transformed themselves. So I would not know at any given time what that person would want to do, either transform or stay as you are. So they were harassing Mataji into asking me to ask Simi, our attorney, to take a certain line. And I told them initially that when it comes to law, it is my duty as a guru to respect Simi. We do not cross lines. This is why I refer people to Simi. Once I've referred them, then it is within her jurisdiction on how to take the case. And I also had a background from what they had done. And I cannot ask, I'm a guru, you understand. It is a lawyer's job to defend a criminal. Guru can't defend a criminal. I must refer the criminal to a lawyer, and whatever methodology the lawyer uses, the lawyer is mandated to defend a criminal. So today, they did not like the fee that was imposed upon them, and they phoned Mataji and said they believe that I have my hand in the cookie jar. So these people come from a high-profile family here in Reservoir Hills. I grew up in Reservoir Hills, and I'm a guru in Reservoir Hills. I didn't go to Newcastle and become a guru where people don't know me. I'm known. Yeah, I have been a public figure here in Reservoir Hills. So I did not take that accusation lightly, and I informed him that if he, whilst I am talking to him, if he does not apologize, then he must research and find out who I was and who I am and what can happen to him. So maybe I must summon some gangsters, like my Guru did, and let him get a beating of his life. I worked hard to sustain, maintain, and initiate this ashram. I have sacrificed millions of rands, and I have sacrificed the livelihood of my children. Had I not become a guru, my two boys would have been driving those Mustangs. Because Sean spoke to him, Sean was upset with him, and he told Sean, I'm driving a 2 million rand Mustang, you must be driving a 20,000 rand car. And then later he told Sean he owns Dubai Hotel. Okay? So maybe we need to give him a hotel in Westville. Durban? Westville. Right? Own a hotel in correctional services. So, I'll leave it to Dana if we want to grab all those Springtonians. My 3 Springtonian ladies are not here today. But let's see what Dana has to say. He knew he was talking, see, he put his lights in the back.
Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my Guru, Acharya Ramanuj. I must thank him from where he brought me and where he has taken me to. I started in the Satsang on the 14th of November 2017. 4 days prior to that, I was speaking to Vasan, and Guru was in the background. And Guru told Vasan to tell me to come to Satsang. And whilst talking to Vasan, I told Vasan I can't attend because I just came out of hospital, I had a hip replacement. And I can hear Guru from the background telling Vasan, tell that man my mother-in-law went for, my mother-in-law had gone for hip replacement and she's walking perfectly, nothing wrong with him. So I came to the first satsang with walking with 2 crutches. Came the second satsang, 1 crutch was gone. Third satsang, all crutches were gone. And then I followed what Guru was telling me. And every time Guru talked during the satsang, sometimes certain messages got through to me and I followed them. Within a month, I remember asking Guru, am I fit enough to be his disciple? And Guru told me, don't worry, in 2018, you'll get initiated. And exactly 3rd of January 2018, I got initiated. And on the 6th of January, whilst we were doing the marathon satsang, Lord Narayan awareness campaign, I was sitting in the hall in the morning and chanting. Not Om Namah Narayana, but Om Namah Shivaya, because that was with me all the time. And then I saw inside Lord Narayan the lingam appear. That's when I discussed with Guru, and Guru told me, now it's time for you to move on. I listened to him and I followed. Continued in the process. I got a lot of whackings. Oh, that is one of those things that I couldn't stop. Every satsang was mine. I will get whacking. There's no stopping that. But I'm happy because everything that Guru did was to clean me out. When this premises was given to us, I was here, came, we helped clean up. We did the building. And after the building was done, on the 27th of May 2018, we finished our satsang here and we were going to Kampara. And as I was leaving, I went to bow down to Guru, but Guru was not there. Guruji was standing there in that place. He had all white and he had his wooden sandals. And he told me, give me a hug, and he was gone. That's the time I first met Guruji. After that, I've seen him quite a few times, always on the premises. During the building of the Gaushala, the professor that did the operation on my hip told me that I would not be able to bend, nor will I be able to sit on a stool. Guru made sure all that was not right. I bent, I picked up blocks, I was laying blocks. I was sitting on blocks, we had breakfast and lunch on blocks, sitting. Even once we were working on the top and the scaffolding broke and I landed on my feet. No injuries, no nothing. Felt like a feather coming down. Proceeding further in 2019, in February, we went to Newcastle. We were doing padigrama around the temple. And whilst doing padigrama, I had a heart attack. And all Guru did was touch me and it was gone. Finished there, when he came back, we were sitting in the ashram. That time the building wasn't done. And then Guru told me I must go for a check. And Guru didn't tell me what is wrong. When I went in, I found that my arteries were blocked. I had to go for triple bypass. And with Guru's blessings, I did not take one single painkiller right through the procedure, and even up to now. Guru has always advised me not to take medication unless it's absolutely necessary. So every time I have a problem, I speak with him and he will advise me what to do. In 2019 as well, middle of the year, he asked me if I want to become a saint. I told him yes. And he told me, just follow what I tell you and you will do it. And I must thank Guru. Right through, he's taken me, he's shown me a lot. He showed me things that a lot of people might not even believe. And he's brought me to this stage. I must thank him for all that. Thank Mataji, who was like a back door. You know, when I was working in the police, when we used to go raiding, suspect raiding. So you cover the back door and the front door. So every time Guru used to talk to me, I used to listen to Guru. Then Mataji was like the back door. Everything, that's something that missed out, she will just sit there and she'll guide me along. So I must thank both of them for bringing me this far, and I don't think I'll go anywhere else now. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, sir.
Vishum Dana Ramanuj Das. I think he made me hungry after his. He made a statement. He's a former policeman. He didn't give a discourse. He made a statement. And after his statement, normally I go another half an hour, but because I'm hungry, I'm going to stop right here. Jai Shriman Narayan.